Morning, guys. Morning. This is my second time doing this video this morning because I just got way too much into the topics I didn't want to get into in the first video. So we're going to start it again and we're going to stay above water. I read them. I read them both. I got them I got them like the end of January, but February 1st, I picked up the first one. And by February 3rd, today's date, when I'm recording this video, both books have been read. That's 2 days. So let's talk about what I thought of them. Colleen Hoover wrote Verity. That was the first thing I ever read by her, right? And I loved Verity. I absolutely loved Verity. I thought it was a phenomenal book. But everywhere I looked on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, people were shitting on Colleen Hoover or shitting on It Ends With Us, right? So I never was going to read it because I was just like, oh, I liked Verity. I got lucky. I read her best work. End of story, right? No. The end of January, my cousin, she's technically my husband's cousin, but I claim her because she's mine, sent me those 2 books because she had asked my husband if I had read them, and he looked on my bookshelf. He kind of like asked me leading questions, and I hadn't read them, so he told her no, and she sent them to me because she really loved them, and she was like, I think if you just give them a shot, you will like them. Okay. I decided that, you know, as soon as I got done with what I was reading, I was going to read it because I was going to finally kind of discover for myself how I felt about these books. Because I went into it expecting to not like them. I'm being bluntly honest. I went into them with everything I had seen on TikTok, everything I'd seen on Facebook, expecting to not like these books. I don't know why. But I loved these books. I thought they were excellent. I think a lot of people's problems, they say that one, Lily is not a great adult character. She's flawed. Everybody's flawed. Everybody forgives their abuser. Everybody thinks that they're a better person than that and takes them back. Like, that's just... There are those rare occasions where the first time that you get hit, you're out. You're gone. You're walking out the door. But that is 80% of the time not what freaking happens, okay? And I don't think that Colleen is trying to make Reich into a likable character. Like, oh, he hits her, but he's not that bad of a guy. I don't think that's what she's doing. I think she's trying to humanify, to make him appear more like somebody that you know. Colleen, obviously this story is a bit of a telling of her parents' story, right? She's changed a lot, but essentially this was her mom and dad's story. And yeah, she goes on to say her dad never raised his hand to her because her mother left. That's the best thing that she ever did. She's glorifying a strong woman actually leaving and saying, no, it ends with us. This is it. The kids are not going to grow up in this environment. And you know what? Her daughter didn't grow up in that environment. Emerson is the name of the little girl in the book. She is going to have an amazing life with a mother and a father, as long as, you know, Lily, the main character in the books, is very hesitant to allow him unsupervised with Emerson because of his abuse. But I don't know, I just got the vibe that eventually he was going to get there, you know, and he does get her every chance he can supervised. I don't know. I just thought it was a really good story. Reich is not a perfect character. Lily is not a perfect character. I love Atlas. And a lot of people were like, Atlas is so mid. Atlas is boring. Atlas is consistent, you guys. And I feel like a lot of that feedback is coming from younger women who want this like sexy, debonair, exciting, high, like roller coaster relationship. No, there is something to be said about a consistent man. Atlas has consistently loved her since they were like kids, like teenagers, right? Like, there is something to say for consistency, for a steady man, for a man who is always like, it's not up and down, it's not up and down, it's just smooth sailing. There's something to be said for that, and I love Atlas for that, because that is what Lily needs in her life, particularly at the time that's going on in the books. I've also seen people be like, oh, I didn't like it starts with us, like she could have just left it at it ends with us, and then that would be the end and we can use our imaginations. And I normally would say that because I am the type of person that I love an open-ended ending, right? You guys know that about me. I'll make it up in my head what happened. I love an open-ended ending, but because, and like Colleen Hoover says, because Book Talk took over It Ends With Us, and so many people revived this book. It had been written years before and not gotten that much like traction, but Book Talk brought it back and made it popular. She wanted to give it as a gift to people like her fans, people who love Atlas and Lily, to say, here's their happy ending. A lot of people don't get a happy ending. Here's their happy ending. And I appreciated that. And honestly, I loved it. I ate it up because I love a happy ending. I love an open-ended ending, but I also love a happy ending. You can like more than one thing, right? There's nothing that says you can't like more than one thing. I absolutely loved these books. And I didn't think I was going to. I am the one who was like, no, they're going to be terrible. They're going to be awful and predictable, and I still loved them. Were they slightly predictable? Sure. Did I still love them? Yes. I thought they were great. I guess I'm just part of the Colleen Hoover fan club. I don't know. I mean, I've only read now those 2 books in Verity. I haven't read Layla. I haven't read November 9th. Or she's got like a bunch of other books out there. And I may read another one. I may give her, you know, a 3rd shot. But so far, the 3 books I've read by her, top notch. I liked them. I'm not super hard to write for, though. I don't have a lot of trigger warnings. I don't have anything like that. There are stuff I don't like, though. You guys know I have a review on here for My Dark Vanessa that just trashes the book because I thought it was trash. And a lot of people love that book. But then it's like this, where there's this series that a lot of people hate, and I am part of the minority who just think it's great. I think it's excellent. Is it the best work I've ever written? Absolutely not. It's not the most imaginative. It's not any of that. It's a nice story about a woman who falls into a relationship with an abuser and rescues her damn self, and then falls into a relationship with her childhood or teen, I keep saying childhood, it's more like teenage years, sweetheart. And they've got a lot of a cute story with him being homeless and her being in an abusive household herself because her father. It's a cute story. It's a lot about saving yourself and growth and knowing what you will and won't put up with. I enjoyed the books thoroughly. So that's my review, man. I know y'all probably wanted me to get on here and trash it, because that seems to be the cool thing to do, is to talk about how much you hated these books. But I'm not going to do that, because I read them in 2 days, and they kept my attention, and I shed a couple of tears, and I rooted for Lily and Atlas. I did. So, yeah. Thoroughly enjoyed them. What else is going on? We're going to do next week a shop with me, a grocery haul. I said I was going to do it this particular week that just passed. We ended up needing way more things than I thought we did. Like household items. I was spending like $50, $60 on dog food and trash bags and dish soap, and my budget just was like, it wasn't even a budget at that point. I like to go and take you guys when I'm strictly mostly getting the food so you can see how I budget out my meals. So we're going to do that next week. Wednesday, I'm not sure what we're doing on Wednesday yet. We might throw a cook with me in there. I don't know. We'll see. Come back on Wednesday and we'll see what we're talking about. I love you guys so, so, so much. I hope you have an amazing, amazing week. Bye.